rush? When am I ever not in a rush? I need to leave, so I need to drink my smoothie, I need to get my stuff together, I need to make sure I've got all my cameras. That's something that sometimes I forget, and then I'm like, Holly, how are you planning on filming this video and you haven't got a camera, babe? So I need to get all of that together. I need to charge his phone, actually thinking about it. I need to stop swearing, because then you got to bleep everything out. Holly, stop swearing, it's rude and it's not, actually I was gonna say it's not ladylike, but who cares? And saying things are ladylike is so stupid. Nothing is ladylike or not ladylike. I'm just bleating on at this point, Holly, like please, what is your point? Anyway, let's put this on charge. Why is that not going in? Anyway, I need to leave in 10 minutes and I need to drink this and I need to edit a video. So I'll be back with you once that has all been completed. Right, we're back. I've dropped my brother and my dad off and now I'm back at home making my lunch. Hang on, Alexa. Sorry, I know I just told you to stop, but can you stop please? Thanks, babe. I need to carry on drinking my moon water. I haven't even told you about this. So, last night, it was a full moon, and on a full moon, my friend told me what you meant to do, and I'm just gullible, I'll do whatever anyone says, because I like a bit of good luck. She said, fill up a glass of some water, say into it all your dreams and desires, and then put the lid on, put it outside to charge, and then drink it the next day. So I'm sipping on this because I'll take all the luck I can get. Anyway, I'm back. I need to do some business, but first I need to make some lunch. So I thought you could join me for that. We're going to have these Plants by Deliciously Ella Herby Veggie Bites. These I could have, I don't know, I think they probably cost me about £45. But sometimes I'm feeling crazy. When I do something, like, I don't even know if I did something well, but like, I was really pleased with myself for sorting out that, well, I didn't sort it all out. I don't even know if some of you know this. I have a lovely assistant called Maya. No, me, why do I keep saying Maya? Oh my God, Maya, sorry. Maya, oh, this actually fills me with fear because my boyfriend, I can't say it, sorry. Rory's sister is called Maya, and it took me ages to get her name right because before that I worked with someone at Red Bull called Maya, but now the problem is I've now got a Maya again, so I'm getting them confused. Anyway, I have a lovely assistant called Maya who helps me 4 days a week, who's going travelling in 2 months. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to simply pass away. There'll be no YouTube videos, that is for sure. Anyway, what am I even saying about this? I don't even know why I'm talking about Maya now. Oh my God, why am I talking about? I don't know. Sorry. Maybe I was talking about YouTube. Oh, that was it. I was saying Maya helped me with sorting out a lot of stuff, but I'm really trying to get the wheels in motion, right? And I'm having to invest back into, it's really weird. Basically, I'm having to invest in having someone help me so that I can do new things, because I want to start a podcast, I want to start my business, there's so many other things. And I realised I have to take a risk and take a cut in what I earn by paying someone else to help me to hopefully get to where I want to be. Now, it is a risk. Like, it could end up blowing up in my face in that I just spend the money and I don't make it back. But it's a risk I'm willing to take because I feel so passionately about the things that I want to do. So, anyway, I don't know how we ended up here. But for now, I'm making these. How did I get from that to these plant herby bites? Anyway, I've really gone off lunch. This is a bit of like, it's a bit sad. Okay, so trigger warning, sad. I've never really experienced like death in my family. However, well, like close family. However, touch wood, it's so weird. Like, sorry, I'm going into so many different tangents here, but I have, obviously you guys know that I've got ADHD and autism. Well, I'm being diagnosed at the minute for autism, but on top of that, I have quite a lot of OCD tendencies. So when I talk about something that's hard, the OCD comes back. So I get a voice in my head that's like, you've got to touch this or something bad will happen. Even though my logical brain knows that's not true. But sometimes I like don't have the energy to fight it. Where sometimes I do and I'm like, don't do that. Where sometimes I just don't have the energy to do that. Hang on, let me just make sure this actually, so you can actually see me while I'm preparing food, while talking to you. But my OCD is around a lot of things. So I've got my metaphobia. A lot of it's around food, around hygiene, but then it could also be random things like talking about subjects that are hard for me to say. Like, I get a lot of thoughts that are like, this has to happen, or something bad will happen. So like, I was playing pool with my family the other day, and in my brain, like, I say as if it's like someone else is in my brain, like it's not like it's just me. It feels like there's another, like there's an antagonist in my brain. But anyway, in my head, my thoughts will be like, this has got to happen or something bad will happen. So it will be things like, say this bin here, when I open it and put something in, I'll be like, I've got to finish my next sentence before that closes or something bad will happen. And most of the time I try and fight it, because the only way I feel like I can really get through the OCD is if I fight back against it, but sometimes I don't have the energy. Anyway, what I was trying to say, what my point was that my OCD, that's what it was morbid. When my nan passed away in Feb, it was very, very hard for me, because I always think like me, my mum, my nan have got this like invisible string that connects us. Like I really, really love her. And so it was really hard, and it was quite sudden. And also she promised me she'd live to 90 and she was 89. So I was like, babe, this is not part of the deal. Anyway, I actually found out midway through eating my lunch. My mum called me and I was eating my lunch. And it was really weird, but for the months afterwards, I couldn't eat anything but Marmite sandwiches, which must seem so random. But basically, just before I found out, I'd made this like fancy lunch. Like I'd made myself like a pitta with these curried tofu bits in and all this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be really nice. Anyway, after that happened, I then went off lunch. I don't know if anyone else has had this, like when something bad's happened, they go off something. But I went off lunch and I found it really hard. And I could only eat, Marmite sandwiches or plain things. Then I managed to add back in like soup. And then now I feel like, because this was in Feb and now it's the following Jan, I'm really trying to be like Holly, like you can't keep like avoiding, like I don't want this to sound wrong. I don't ever avoid lunch, but I only eat things that like a kid would eat. Like I only eat plain foods. But I'm trying to get back into actually making my lunches like I just got into before that happened. Like nice timing that. And I just learn how to cook and like do things. And then you ruin it. That is a joke, by the way. I get worried sometimes because my way of dealing with sad things is humour, but I get worried sometimes it sounds like I'm diminishing how big the feelings are. But I feel like you guys who follow me would know that isn't the case. Anyway, so this is me really trying to make an effort to do that. So I went to Waitrose. I spent nearly £700 on the most basic ingredients, but I had to try and make it fun. So in my head I was like, oh, I'm going to treat myself to go to Waitrose, go down the aisle, see what they've got, and I'm going to make myself a really tasty lunch. And that is hopefully what I'm going to do, because one thing I've realised about anxiety, emetophobia, self-talk, ADHD, etc. is when you give into it, it gets worse. These things only get better when you like fight back, or sometimes I don't like to word it as fighting back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and I found, right, the only way that you can really help yourself in these things is by not giving in and not letting them win. I'm very lucky that I've spent a lot of years in therapy, so I can kind of get a grips on it a little bit more. And I did psychology at uni, which I feel like helped me quite a bit. And I think just in general getting older, but that is my main thing, is like you can't let the anxiety win. So I really have to say to myself, like, you know, you cannot just have basic childlike lunches for the rest of your life because your nan's passed away. Like, you're going to have to bounce back. And I do think that's why I've got so far in the different things that I've done in my life, because I have always fought back. Like, there's been times actually that I've been quite defeated by particularly the emetophobia and the anxiety, but I've always had this like underlying feeling that it will get better, because I do think I'm a strong person, and that has helped me so often. So even things, so for example, like I would like to have kids in a couple of years, but obviously emetophobia, you're scared of morning sickness, right? And sometimes that like keeps me up at night of like, how am I ever going to get through that? But then I remind myself of all the things that I thought I'd never be able to do because I'm an anxious person. So the thought of that one day I'd have to go to uni, I was like, I'll never survive that. Or the thought of ever flying somewhere on my own, or the thought of like all the things that I've been scared of, I've still, when the time has come, managed to muster up the courage to do them. And in mustering up that courage, I've like comforted that anxious voice in my head and been like, babe, you don't need to be so scared, we can do it. Like, I am stronger than that part of my brain thinks I am. And that is how I've got to the places that I've got to. Like, I would never think this could be my job, or that I would have quit my job or done something different. But I remind myself, but you have. And the more things you do that are out of your comfort zone, the more things you say yes to, the more that you, sorry, did I just spit? The more that you quieten down that voice in your head that says, oh, you're too anxious to do that, you're too this to do that. Because that voice, it is, one, it's an antagonizer, but at the same time, it's a scared voice that's just trying to protect you, but it's kind of wired wrong. Like, it's a bit like a fire alarm that is just going off all the time. Like, the fire alarm in itself is helpful. Like, having a fear, being scared of things is useful innately. But if your fire alarm is going off every single day, it's not useful. Do you know what I mean? So that is my kind of mantra of like, okay, I understand things are a little bit difficult right now, but you are going to get through it. And that's the same with the situation, like with my nan. I'm like, we're going to start exploring food again for lunch because the world has to keep going on. So that's what's happening right now. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you. On a completely separate note to everything that I've just said, I had a really embarrassing experience when I got back here, and that is that I wet myself, and that has not happened in such a long time. But I went through a period where, when I used to drink, actually I used to wet myself quite a lot because I'm not very good at like time management of like, either I'm desperate for a wee or I don't need one. I don't really have that like middle ground of like, oh, I've drunk this much, I'm probably gonna need a wee soon. Anyway, I got in and suddenly I was like, oh my God, I really need a wee. And I was like trying to get my key in, and something about putting the key in, my body's like, we're gonna wee now, we're home, we can wee now. And I'm like, please don't wee right now. But my body's like, sorry, we're gonna do it. And I ran to the toilet, but I wet myself like in the bathroom, like there was a wee on the floor. And it's so funny because I'm like, you're 30 and you still cannot work out when you need a wee before it's like absolutely urgent. Like the amount of times Rory, like me and him have been out and I've been like, you need to walk ahead of me and open the front door, and I've had to run into the toilet, but instead I didn't make it. But what's quite funny is it happens so often to me that it doesn't faze me. Like I'm like, oh well, I'm like, put my leggings in the wash, you know, bathroom gets a bit of an anti-back and then we're back in the game. But I just think that's quite funny that it just, like, it's so common that it doesn't, I'm just like, when are you going to learn? But I'm also just think, it's quite nice, like I just think, I don't really mind about being embarrassing, like being embarrassing doesn't really bother me. So, I don't need cacao nibs in my salad, but I just thought you might enjoy that. You know, you do something stupid and you think, this is embarrassing right now, but I do think someone is going to enjoy the story, so maybe it'll be worth it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some garlic granules, add some pepper. I'm going to make this well nice. And then what I'm going to do is when I eat it, I'm going to watch Love Island. Do I give you off that I would be... That was too much. Do I give off that I'm someone that would like Love Island? Because I always wonder that. I don't love Love Island as a concept, but I can't stop myself from watching it. It's kind of more the vibe. I think it's also the autism. Like, I think I just like enjoy watching humans and how they interact with each other, particularly around dating, because I think I kind of hyperfixated on dating when I was younger because it seemed like something that was a little bit alien to me, but it was like high reward. Like I liked the dopamine of it. It really backed up to me that I was someone that would fit in. I was like, oh my God, if someone fancies you, then you definitely fit in. So it was kind of, it's weird. Like, you know, they say like people hyperfixate on different things. I think I hyperfixated on dating and people fancying me. I don't know why me making this lunch is making me just suddenly open up every thought I've ever had to the absolute high heavens. But, you know, I thought you might enjoy some of these thoughts. Because someone commented on my video being like, I have never heard someone say the things that you say and it's like you're within my head. And do you know what? I've spent my whole life thinking that. Like, I've had all these thoughts, but there's been nowhere to say them. Like, some of them, like, I tell my friends more or less everything. Like, I'm very much an open book. Like, if you met me, I'm not proud. Like, I don't really care. I'd say whatever. But a lot of them, there's just been not a place or time that I bring them to the surface. They're just subconscious. But it's really nice knowing that it's not just me that thinks this way and that there's other people as well. It's really comforting because I do think that sometimes being neurodivergent can feel really isolating because you're like, I'm the only one in the world that feels this way or does this thing or doesn't get this. When actually there's so many of us that are all in the same boat. I don't know, there's something about that really makes me feel nice. So I hope it makes you feel nice as well. Sorry, that noise is probably quite cringy. Right, so at the minute in this bowl, we've got this sticky rice. Nice, I really need to learn. My friend bought me a rice cooker when me and Rory moved in. It's still at my parents' house. Sorry, I know. But we've decided this is the year that it's going to come out and it's going to happen. Then I've just got some tomatoes, some spring onion, some pepper. And then I've got my £1,700, is it Ella's Kitchen? Protein, like falafel balls. And then what else have I got? Oh, I've got these as well. This was another splurge. You know, we're trying to get back on the lunch game, so I had to. Porcini mushroom and spinach rolls. These are delicious. And then I got this because I thought this would be like a lot more than it was. This was £1.50, which is still a lot, but today I just thought fine. Because I need to try and get my protein up, I think. Because as a veggie, I feel like my protein probably isn't that high. And I don't really know why I need to put my protein up, but I just see other people say that and I'm just such a sheep. I'm like, yeah, babe, if you're putting your protein up, like, I'll do the same, fine. If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. That in there. I was going to have a salad, but the thought of chopping this actually fills me with dread, so that's been it. There's so much in this fridge that I definitely need to clear out, but I can't be arsed, so I'm just going to ram and hope for the best. Oh, perfect timing. Okay. My £1,700 balls are going in. This lunch isn't like going to change the world, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not exciting, but oh God, it really isn't going to change the world. I think this is more pathetic than I thought it was going to be. I need a sauce. Maybe I'll add some hummus. I can't stress enough for you to not follow me for recipe ideas because I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't really find cooking that interesting. It feels like a chore. Like if I'm in the mood for it and I've got a recipe to follow, I'll enjoy it because I like that it's a bit like scientific. Like I like that. But there's just been too many recipes that I've done that have been shit or I've got wrong. And I'm like, I've just invested like half an hour in making this, £30 and getting the ingredients. And then Rory takes one bite and he's like, ugh. Then I take a bite and I'm like, oh, it's so at least Rory like pretends like he's like polite, but actually we both know it's a poo recipe. And this looks like a bit of a poo bowl. But do you know what I did? I also got myself some Greek yogurt and some peanut butter granola and some honey and stuff. So maybe this can just be like 2 lunches, like this is the start and then that's the dessert. And maybe the dessert is where it's really going to pop off, you know? Maybe you can't always get things right the first time, can you? So does it really matter that my lunch is poo? Probably not. I forgot that I got an avocado for the lunch. This could change things, do we think? I think an avocado could really ramp this meal up. I wanted to get edamame beans, but I don't know, like, where do you get those from? They didn't seem to have them in Waitrose. God, what a posho sentence. Oh, I'm looking for edamame beans. They didn't have them in Waitrose. Shut up. Someone once went up to my dad in Waitrose and said, you look like Boris Johnson. And I always just think that's quite funny. Like, such a random thing for someone just to go up to a stranger and say that. And I would have just loved to have seen my dad's face because my dad is not someone that like, he's not that approachable. Like if he was just out and about in Waitrose, he's not like walking along with a big like smile on his face. So I just think it's quite funny that someone's just gone up to him and said that because I just know he would have been like so bamboozled and would have just been like, okay. Admittedly, I'm not going to win any awards for this, am I? Like, I'm not... It's not my best work. But I do think it's going to do my body good. So there, oh, I was meant to add cucumber, but I'm so over chopping. I'm not doing any more. Sorry, not interested. And also that took so long. I can't do that every day. That's the thing. I just think it seems odd to me that you spend half an hour making a meal that you eat in 4 minutes. Like, what's the point? It's all fart, no poo, and I haven't got time for that. I keep opening my front blind, but it means that my neighbours can look directly in. And normally we have like the screen down so people can't see in, but it does make the house dark. So I'm like, actually, I'm going to open it. But then I forget I've opened it and then I start, treating myself to a little pick of my nose. And I'm like, it's a risky game because, like, there is a slim chance that they don't know that I've ever picked my nose. But then at the same time, maybe they see it every time. And then that's also awkward too. Like they know that I'm like a mega nose picker. Because I'm not a mega nose picker. It's just every now and then I treat myself. But like, it's not all the time, do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to watch Love Island All Stars. Also, this is exciting for me, unfortunately, maybe not for you. I didn't realise how much having like terrestrial TV, how much joy it would bring me. But I work with Sky and they sent me this TV, which is like obviously outrageously lucky, but I can't explain that. It's the best of all the brand deals I've done. This one is the one that brings me with most joy because having terrestrial TV, like being able to flick through the channels, being able to watch like Dave, like watching channels or like watching E, like reminds me of my childhood at home because my parents have got Virgin Media and I find it so comforting. And also it's also got features like if you can't find the remote, you say hello and then you say Sky and then you say, can you find the remote? And this beeps. And also it's got like workout videos on there. You can get YouTube on there. Like you can do so much from speaking, which is cool. You can turn it on, turn it off. And I just think it looks good as well. Don't you think that just looks cool? I'm really grateful because Sky they don't pay me. Like I'm not making money out of this situation. They just sent me this. I don't really know why they sent me it because they've not even said like, can you talk about it? So like I don't talk about it because I feel awkward talking about brand deals and stuff because I know how grateful I am to be able to have them. But Sky have just been like, yeah babe, have it. So I just thought actually I do feel like maybe I should shout them out. I don't know why I'm sharing this now. I feel awkward. It feels weird. I am a creator, so like maybe I do just need to admit it, but it does feel awkward. I feel like I'm peacocking. I feel like I'm really showing off. I just want to say to you that I like terrestrial TV and I just want to eat my poo lunch.